Chosen one, if this message resonates, let it sink deep into your soul. These final 2 days of November are imbued with a unique energetic signature, perceptible to only a select few. That pull towards solitude, that introspective quiet, that emotional distance you've been experiencing, it's not a breakdown, but a preparation. In these crucial 48 hours, the universe is orchestrating timeline shifts, rewiring destinies, and gently removing any energetic static that might be clouding your path. This isn't mere social withdrawal, it's divine protection, a signal that something monumental is aligning behind the curtain of reality. Stay with me, and you'll grasp precisely why the universe is calling you to be alone right now. Your soul is being poised for a breakthrough, a pivotal moment you're destined to embrace. Let's delve in. If a sense of the extraordinary has been lingering in the air these past 2 days, an inward tug, a stillness settling in your spirit, know this: your perceptions are valid. Many awakened souls recognize this period as the silent adjustment window, a subtle energetic zone where the universe seems to decelerate the world around you, allowing your next chapter to align flawlessly, free from interference. It's a spiritual shift that doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It whispers, guides, invites. During these days, you may find yourself navigating unfamiliar emotional terrain, a sense of detachment without a clear cause, a disinterest in socializing, even with loved ones, feeling drained in social settings that typically energize you, heightened sensitivity to noise, chaos, and superficial conversations, and a fierce protectiveness of your personal space and inner peace. This isn't you shutting down, but rather your spirit shifting dimensions. Deep within, your soul recognizes the formation of a new timeline, and to seamlessly enter it, old distractions must fade into the background. These final days of November create a palpable energetic environment, dense, magnetic, and profoundly quiet, as if the universe is drawing a veil across your life, shielding you from anything that could overwhelm or derail you. This pull toward isolation isn't a punishment. It's alignment of the highest order. Here's a profound truth often overlooked whenever a major destiny shift looms. The universe strategically withdraws you from the noise, not because you're weak, but because you are being recalibrated. When your intuition needs to soar, the external world must quiet down. You're not meant to absorb too many outside voices, take on other people's burdens, or carry emotional baggage that isn't yours. Instead, the universe requires you to be in a state of inward focus, spiritual receptivity, energetic stillness, emotional clarity, and heightened awareness. Think of these 48 hours as a spiritual quarantine, isolating you not from illness, but from misalignment, energetically detoxing you from anything or anyone who can't accompany you into your next chapter. Your soul is being quietly redirected, your inner compass reconfigured, your intuition fine-tuned like a spiritual GPS locking on to a new destination. You may even notice disruptions in your sleep patterns, waking suddenly at 2 or 3 a.m., feeling alert, emotional, or deeply aware. This isn't insomnia, it's activation. Your subconscious mind is more receptive during these early hours, allowing divine downloads, intuitive insights, and karmic release to occur without resistance. You might experience waves of profound silence, stillness, that compels you to confront your thoughts, detachment from once cherished attachments, clarity regarding people, situations, or decisions, and emotional neutrality toward former triggers. These aren't mere mood swings. They are your higher self clearing inner space. The truth is, what's coming next requires a new version of you, sharper, wiser, more aligned, and deeply self-aware. Someone who can discern people's intentions without being told, spot opportunities before others, and instantly recognize what aligns with their path and what doesn't. The isolation you feel is evidence that your soul is being shifted into a new energetic position, a cosmic recalibration, a spiritual retuning to adjust your vibration so your next chapter can recognize you. During this window, you may feel subtly pulled backward, while simultaneously being propelled forward, like a pause that's actually a reorientation. Old memories might surface unexpectedly, along with sudden realizations about patterns or people. You might experience emotional release through tears, chills, or sighs, or feel an urge to clean, organize, journal, or reset your environment, an inner voice urging you to rest, withdraw, or seek solitude. This is because the universe can't pour new blessings into an overcrowded spirit. It must empty you first. As this silent adjustment window nears its completion, you might also experience a strange sense of anticipation, as if something is loading behind the scenes of your life. This isn't anxiety, it's energetic preparation. The universe is attuning your internal frequency to match the opportunities that are on their way. And once these last 2 days have passed, something profound happens. You will feel lighter, think clearer, know yourself more deeply, and sense what needs to leave, what needs to stay, and what needs to begin. The confusion dissipates, the heaviness lifts, the direction becomes clear, and fear loses its voice, because what the universe is orchestrating behind the scenes is far grander than anything you've witnessed yet. It's building the pathway forward, aligning the perfect people, and placing you on the timeline where you're destined to thrive. But before you step into that version of yourself, the universe must reveal who you are becoming. And that revelation always begins with silence. Chosen one, the true reason you've been feeling drawn into isolation, silence, distance, or unexplained emotional shifts is because your old timeline is collapsing completely beneath you. Imagine standing on a bridge that once felt sturdy, one you traversed for years, only to see every plank behind you dissolving into mist, not because you did something wrong, not because the universe is punishing you, but because you were never meant to walk backward again. This is the energy of these final 2 days of November, a moment when old identities effortlessly fall away, old fears finally loosen their grip, old relationships begin to feel expired, old habits suddenly feel heavy or pointless, and old dreams no longer resonate with your spirit. This profound shift isn't confusion, it's ascension in its purest form. You are stepping out of the version of yourself that was constructed from fear, survival, wounds, expectations, and past cycles. That version helped you endure, but it cannot help you evolve, and your soul knows it. The intensity you're feeling isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough disguised as discomfort. Your energy is ascending to a level where anything misaligned becomes immediately apparent, and that clarity is a sign that the collapse has already begun. You may begin noticing these powerful signs. You're losing interest in people who drain you. You're not becoming cold, you're becoming conscious. Conversations that once amused you now feel shallow. People who relied on you emotionally suddenly feel burdensome. Drama feels suffocating. Gossip feels childish. And certain people feel loud even without saying a word. Your vibration is rising, and your energy becomes allergic to low-frequency interactions. Your spirit refuses to continue investing in connections that don't nourish your growth. Your intuition becomes brutally honest. This is one of the strongest indicators that your old timeline is dissolving. Your intuition ceases whispering and begins speaking with unwavering clarity. You begin to discern the truth about people's intentions. Sense energetic shifts in relationships before anything tangible happens. Notice red flags instantly, sense hidden motives, and recognize emotional manipulation without second-guessing yourself. And sometimes, without even knowing why, you'll feel guided to walk away, detach, say no, end a cycle, and protect your peace. This is your spiritual radar sharpening as your soul prepares for the next level. You feel an urge to protect your energy. You may find yourself suddenly declining invitations, staying home, prioritizing rest, or craving solitude. This isn't isolation born from sadness. It's isolation driven by evolution. Your energy field is becoming more sensitive, and the universe is shielding you from anything that might interfere with your transition. There are certain conversations you're not meant to have, certain people you're not meant to see, and certain energies you're not meant to absorb. These final days of November create a spiritual boundary around you, a protective cocoon to ensure the rebirth process remains uninterrupted. Sudden emotional clarity hits you. This is when you awaken to truths you've ignored for months or years. Your emotional vision becomes crystal clear. You suddenly realize what you truly desire, what no longer resonates, what you're done tolerating, what you deserve, and what you must release. This clarity doesn't originate from your mind. It emanates from your soul, releasing old programming, the beliefs that kept you small, the fears that controlled your decisions, and the cycles that repeated in your life are all losing their power. You are outgrowing the identity that once kept you safe, but now keeps you stuck. Synchronicities show up everywhere. As your old timeline crumbles, you may begin to see repeating numbers: 111 new beginnings, 222 alignment and balance, 333 spiritual guidance, 444 protection and stability, 555 major changes, 777 divine intervention. These numbers appear like cosmic GPS coordinates, indicating that your old path is ending and a new one is unfolding. They are not random occurrences. They are confirmation that you're in the midst of a spiritual route. Your guides are assuring you that you're exactly where you need to be. So don't resist. Your isolation during this time is not loneliness. It's the final stage before activation. The universe draws chosen ones inward precisely when their breakthrough is closest, not to punish or confuse them, but to ensure they don't sabotage it, doubt it, or revert to the very cycles they're being liberated from. This silence, this stillness, this emotional withdrawal is the energetic space where your soul transitions into its next timeline. This is the moment when the old you dissolves so the real you can emerge. You are being repositioned, rewired, rewritten, and reborn. And once this collapse is complete, something extraordinary begins. Your spirit becomes lighter, your purpose becomes louder, your vision becomes sharper, and your sense of direction becomes undeniable. Because the version of you that's emerging isn't the one shaped by pain, it's the one shaped by destiny. The universe is clearing the path so that the next chapter can find you. And trust me, chosen one, what's coming next requires a stronger, wiser, and more aligned version of you. And that is exactly who you are becoming right now. Chosen one, during these final 2 days of November, something powerful begins to stir within you. Something ancient, something intuitive, something your soul has carried through multiple lifetimes. These days mark a period when the veil between your conscious mind and your higher self becomes almost transparent. You feel things more intensely, sense energies that others overlook, and notice signs that others miss. This heightened sensitivity is not a coincidence, it's activation. The universe withdraws you from the outer world because it needs you to hear the inner one. You may experience stronger intuitive nudges that feel unmistakably real, vivid dreams that feel like messages or warnings, sudden chills or waves of goosebumps, emotional downloads out of nowhere, awareness of hidden motives in people, and a desire to start something new with urgency, along with creative or spiritual impulses that surprise you. None of this is random. This is the awakening of your spiritual system. Your isolation becomes more than just silence. It becomes a sacred chamber, a spiritual incubator where your divine gifts begin to expand without interference, noise, or distractions. Let's delve deeper into what exactly is happening inside you. Your intuition becomes louder during these final days. It loses its softness and gains strength. What once arrived as a whisper now arrives as a clear inner knowing. You'll feel drawn towards certain decisions, messages, or opportunities, as if an invisible hand is guiding your steps. You may have thoughts like, "I don't know why, but I need to do this." "Something is telling me to avoid this person," or "I feel like I'm being guided somewhere." The universe uses silence to amplify your inner voice. When the world quiets down, your spirit finally has the space to speak. This intuitive surge isn't imagination, it's confirmation that your higher self is taking the lead. Your manifestation field resets. Whenever your soul enters isolation, your manifestation energy becomes more potent. Why? Because your vibration stops fluctuating. When you're alone, your energy becomes steady, your thoughts become clearer, your emotions settle, and your spiritual frequency stabilizes. This is where manifestation turns powerful. Your desires no longer battle against other people's fears, opinions, or energy fields. Your vibration becomes clean, direct, and focused, and manifestation is nothing more than vibration matching outcome. In these days of silence, the universe resets your energetic field so you can attract what is meant for you without interference. The things you lost were removed for alignment, and the things you feel drawn to now are part of your future. This energetic reset is one of the strongest signs of activation. Your emotional intelligence skyrockets. A chosen soul doesn't just feel emotions, they interpret them. As this activation unfolds, you begin understanding feelings before they fully form. You sense tension before a word is spoken. Recognize insincerity just by the energy someone carries. Start to notice tone shifts. Read body language, detect emotional inconsistencies, understand unspoken pain, and feel someone's intentions without explanation. You rely less on logic and more on energetic truth. This is one of the clearest signs that your third eye and heart center are opening. It means you are entering a new dimension of awareness, one where your spiritual senses guide your decisions more than your earthly ones. Your creativity opens like a doorway. As your old timeline collapses, a new inner fire awakens. You may feel the urge to write, create, plan new goals, clean your environment, organize your mind, start a new project, and reconnect with your purpose. This sudden inspiration isn't random. It's your higher self preparing you for your next chapter. Creative energy is divine energy, and it arrives when the universe is ready to push you into expansion. The ideas you're receiving during these days aren't normal thoughts. They are spiritual downloads. You may have insights that feel ahead of their time, see solutions that once felt impossible, and feel called to reinvent yourself in ways that surprise even you. This creative surge is proof that your soul recognizes what's coming next. Even if your mind doesn't fully understand it yet, your soul begins releasing old attachments. One of the most transformative signs of activation is emotional detachment, not from people, but from pain, expectations, and old patterns. Suddenly, what once hurt no longer does. What once mattered now feels irrelevant, and situations that once triggered you now feel neutral. This emotional detachment isn't numbness, it's ascension. Your soul begins to lighten itself so you can carry new blessings, lessons, relationships, and opportunities. This is why you may feel uninterested in past grudges, less reactive to negativity, more forgiving, less anxious, more grounded, and suddenly unbothered. Your soul knows that the energy required to hold on to old wounds cannot travel into your next level. Detachment isn't losing, it's clearing. Chosen one, take this in fully. You are not being isolated because you're weak. You are being isolated because you're upgrading. You're stepping into a higher dimension of awareness, one that requires a clearer mind, a lighter heart, and a more awakened spirit. Your spiritual gifts are awakening because your next chapter will demand intuition, discernment, awareness, emotional balance, spiritual clarity, and energetic alignment. The universe isn't just protecting you, it's preparing you for the next level of your destiny. Something powerful is coming, and your spirit is being shaped to receive it. Chosen one, lean in, because this next part is something very few people on this earth will ever understand. And yet, it is the exact reason the universe has been drawing you into silence, solitude, and emotional distance during these final 2 days of November. These closing hours of the month are not ordinary. They are a cosmic checkpoint, a spiritual threshold you cross right before a major shift enters your life. Something you've been quietly praying for, patiently waiting for, and something your soul has been preparing for behind the scenes is moving closer, faster than you realize. The breakthrough you've been sensing in your spirit may manifest in many forms: a financial opportunity that transforms your stability, a relationship shift that brings clarity or reconnection, a career breakthrough or unexpected opportunity, an important message that unlocks progress, a completely new path you weren't expecting, a powerful moment of clarity, or a life-altering decision that elevates your soul. But regardless of the form, this breakthrough doesn't arrive randomly. It aligns with you when your energy is clean, open, receptive, and spiritually balanced. That is why you're experiencing isolation before the blessing. The universe is shielding you from noise so that you don't miss the moment when everything begins to change. Here's a profound truth often missed. Breakthroughs rarely enter crowded spaces. They don't come when your spirit is overwhelmed, show up when your energy is entangled with the wrong people, or appear while your intuition is drowned out by fear, stress, or distraction. A breakthrough is a sacred moment, and sacred moments require sacred energy. This isolation you've been drawn into isn't emptiness, it's preparation. It's your spirit's way of saying, before something big enters your life, let me clear the space around you. Think of this period like a spiritual loading screen. Your next level is being loaded in the background. The timing, the people, the opportunities, the signs, all aligning silently. The universe knows exactly what it's doing. During these final 48 hours of November, you may notice powerful inner shifts, sudden motivation returning after weeks of feeling stuck, old doubts falling away almost overnight, courage rising where fear used to reside, ideas flowing effortlessly, almost like downloads, signs and synchronicities appearing everywhere, and a deep, unexpected calm settling inside you. These are not random emotional moments. They are indicators that your breakthrough is already in motion. Your spirit always knows before your mind understands. You can feel the shift before you can explain it, and sense something approaching, even when nothing has changed on the surface. This is your energy preparing to receive. Perhaps you've been asking for clarity, and now realizations are suddenly pouring in. Perhaps you've been questioning your path, and now your intuition is pointing you in a direction you can't ignore. Perhaps you've been stuck in an emotional cycle, and now you feel a release happening without effort. Chosen one. These last days of November aren't draining you. They are aligning you with something bigger, something long overdue, and something with your name on it. The universe is shifting the path beneath your feet, rerouting your destiny, and rearranging the players and pieces in your life so that everything you've asked for can finally reach you. You are being prepared to receive in a way you never have before. This is why your soul feels different, why your emotions feel deeper, why your energy feels sensitive, and why your instincts feel sharper. Whether you realize it or not, you are stepping into a new spiritual timeline. And here's the most powerful part: when this window closes, you will not return to the old version of yourself. Your old habits won't feel right anymore. Your old ways of thinking won't fit the new you. Your old boundaries will rise, and your old relationships will shift in ways you don't expect. You will enter December transformed, with sharper intuition guiding your decisions, stronger boundaries protecting your spirit, clearer direction pointing you forward, renewed purpose fueling your next steps, aligned energy drawing in the right people, and divine momentum propelling you into your next level. This transformation isn't the result of a single moment. It's the culmination of everything you've survived, healed, and released this year. Your isolation isn't the end of something. It's the birth of something extraordinary. The silence isn't emptiness. It's spiritual construction. The stillness isn't punishment, it's alignment. The withdrawal isn't loneliness, it's elevation. The universe isolates you right before it elevates you. Chosen one, you are standing on the final threshold before the miracle arrives. All you must do now is walk through it with trust. Trust the timing. Trust your intuition. Trust the signs. Trust the silence. Trust the shift. And trust the alignment. Because the breakthrough you've been waiting for is already on its way. And these last 2 days of November are simply clearing the path for it to find you. Chosen one, if you've made it to this moment, then this message was meant for you. These final 2 days of November are not small, random, or ordinary. They are a divine pause, a sacred reset, a moment only awakened souls can perceive. Your isolation isn't your loneliness, it's your protection, your preparation, and your elevation. Everything you're feeling, every instinct you're noticing, and every sign that crosses your path is all confirming one truth: your life is about to shift. You are being positioned for something bigger, something aligned, something you prayed for at a time when you felt powerless. The universe has not forgotten you. It's preparing the moment where everything finally makes sense. So breathe, be still, trust the process, and honor the silence. Because what is waiting for you on the other side of this isolation isn't just a new chapter, it's a new version of you. And that version is the one you were always meant to become.